So as you look at this graphic, this explains who we are and what we do. So if you look at the customer portal, we're going to touch briefly on that today. And that's really designed to a customer to get all the information they need and transact business with you. That allows them to get order history, copies of PDFs, all those different things, and we'll go through that briefly today. Then we also provide high-end e-commerce. We have grown up in distribution, like I mentioned, so many of the features that are required for that distribution touch point and customized logic for customers, customized pricing, personalization, we've built hand in hand with customers. And then we have what we call the sales and operational portal, where all of those modules to run the platform would be, or to drive the e-commerce. We'll talk some about those. There's PIM, CRM, contract quoting, quote to cash, many different areas. We'll touch on those at the end. And then we also have suppliers. So we do integrations with suppliers as well as provide supplier endpoints or outbound integrations. Really, and the goal here is to provide that end-to-end digital platform, because if a supplier updates a delivery date or pricing or any number of things, you should be able to automatically write that back to your ERP as well as surface that in the customer portal, maybe send a notification to a customer, maybe change a price, all without human intervention. And this is not a new model that we've come up with. This is what Amazon does and the large companies are working towards. Really, suppliers have to put their data in, put their pricing in, customers come in, shop, transact, customers look at their data in the portal, and then of course they have operations and ERPs which are running their operations. With the new Infor OS and the innovation Infor is doing, we're excited because we can read, write data real time back and forth across the platform as things are happening. So let's say you're receiving or you're shipping or doing any number of things. Kodaris has a near real-time integration with CSD or any Infor OS that allows us to surface information to customers, conduct rule processing and events and triggers, all to enhance and drive that customer employee experience on top of the platform. Speaking of integration, we do integrate. The integration takes literally 1 hour to integrate with CSD or any Infor OS ERP. We use the new Infor OS tools. It's all set up in Ion Desk. We install a plugin on Kodaris side, and the integration data flow is up and running, and we start receiving data into the system. And then as updates are made in the ERP or we write data back, that also happens near real time. So Kodaris is ingesting literally millions of records and database changes all across our customer base every single day as they run their operations. Before we get into the website, as you visit the homepage, there are several modules you'll see here listed on the homepage. All of those come bundled in the platform. And we'll talk about each one of these different ways. We also have cloud development environments built on the platform and many other things. Okay, so let's talk about commerce. We're going to demo today on our demo site. And again, this is just a demo site. The design can be anything you want to design, build. We do have a full suite of services that Kodaris offers, or you can also have third parties design and build your site. We do have partners also that can do that. Again, we're an open platform. We make everything available to customers. But before I jump in, I'm just going to run down a couple of high-level lists because I want to call out a few things so we don't forget as we get into the demo. Everything I will show you today is also available in native mobile apps, both iOS and Android. We have open REST APIs, which I'll cover in a little bit. We do support native punch-out, so if you're using Ariba, Coupa, purchasing systems, that's also built in the commerce experience. We'll talk about CMS. We have a full search engine available, both the global open source as well as AWS AI searching capabilities put in to the platform and integrated, as well as multi-site, multi-catalog on the same platform. The full PIM is also there. We're going to talk about payments, payment portal. We are a turnkey solution for AR automation on par with anyone in the market that you may be using. Any of the large AR automation companies, we are a turnkey solution for those or alternative. And then, like I said, quote to cash, we have a dynamic database schema that you could leverage for custom features, plugins, as well as those development environments. So we're going to demo off a more simplistic site, but a couple of things I want to call out, a couple of our customers. So Glance Graphics is one that recently launched. They are running CSD. They do a very nice job of on their side, and they're using the Kodaris CMS as well as the Kodaris PIM. So you can feel free to check them out and look around. And they also are leveraging the native mobile apps. So those are also branded to them and available for their customers to install with their logos. This is available on Android and iOS. One of our other larger customers, HD Supply Canada, you can feel free to check them out. They also leverage the Kodaris PIM, the commerce system, the content management system, and some other features. So some of our customers utilizing the full Kodaris platform. Okay, let's jump into the commerce piece. So we're going to focus on commerce. You'll notice some categories set up here. These are all data driven out of the PIM. So you would set those up point and click. And then we have a variety of menus. You can have mega menus, flyouts, all of those different things that you may want to see. The product descriptions are set up. And these are, again, we're not logged in, so this is a public experience. There's switches in the platform that you can turn off public pricing. Some of our customers do that. You can show public pricing. You can hide inventory for non-logged in users. The site's very configurable to what you need. As you go to product details, that all the details in this layout is, again, set up by you. Depends on the information you have. If you have PDF resources, you can change the look and feel of this page. You'll see some of our other customers have a little bit different experience. And then the filters and brand filters and things like that are all specific to the layout and PIM data you use. You can add things like these images, categories, and subcategories, as well as different types, lengths, depending on the products. And we have full PIM training. We also have used our own PIM to drive sites and service customers. So we are very experienced in how to set all of these up, and we can provide training as needed for you, or potentially even do some of your PIM work too, as well if needed. All right, so let me log in, because that's obviously one last thing I'll cover is the homepage here can be driven by some defaults, and these are dynamically generated sliders and things like that. Or if you want a total CMS page here, you could do that as well. The menus, and this could be a CMS page of the items around these menu choices and things. You would be able to point and click update. And while we're on it, let me call out the content management system. So what Kodaris did was we created a block builder, and we thought, well, customers really would like something they know how to use. We didn't want to build a CMS from the ground up. It's easy to provide the platform piece of it. So we adapted the new Gutenberg WordPress editor. It's a block editor, point and click. If you've used the new WordPress, it's easy to use. You can embed YouTube videos, links, any number of blocks. And I'll let others investigate that offline, but this allows you to develop in a WordPress environment what your site looks like, write custom blocks, anything you need, and it would appear on your commerce site. So that's fully built into the Kodaris platform. We're not running WordPress, but we do use their editor so you can have the look and feel of WordPress as you're developing and building pages. Some of those pages might look something like this with images, graphics. So you'll see that our team, even our Kodaris website, is built using our own platform. Okay, so let me log in. We're going to, because that's really what we want to talk about. Once we're logged in, you'll see that the system knows who I am, what my company is, which is 4 presidents, and then my username. From this point forward, the entire experience is customized to the user logged in. Everything changes based on that user. So one of the things you'll see here is that this is my ARC account. My ship tos are here. I have a list. I might change those ship tos. And then, of course, I have my login. I'll also mention that we are full multilingual capable, as well as the mobile apps. That means you can change the site in real time. And we do have built-in translation tools, which allows you to point and click in the portal, add your translations for anything on the site, as well as products, categories, content pages. And you can explore that on some of our customer sites. All right, so the next thing I'll just go to is when you go here, you'll see that there is now pricing showing, much more extensive pricing than the public pricing. Also, we support inventory per location, or you can show in stock, out of stock, primary warehouse, secondary warehouse. And remember this, we do use the warehouse records, so they're syncing to us all day long within minutes. And so your inventory is just a few minutes behind what it's going to be in CSD or SX or any Infor ERP. Additionally, you're seeing pricing, and this pricing is going to be driven by the pricing in the ERP. Now, it's important to note we do not run off of the ERP, so we do a lot of work with pricing, so we get sub-second page loads, and we're able to run, and we have a way of caching mechanisms and other things to run pricing outside of the ERP, which gives us flexibility in how we serve the customer, but we still give them their negotiated pricing. Additionally, if you were to change, say, your ship to here, the pricing would change to match that ship to as well. So that's something that we do extremely well. And the pricing, again, will paint very quickly. And we pride ourselves on the fact of our pricing speed for customers to provide that consumer-like experience. Okay, also, if I drill in, I'll see that on this page, we support things like a customer can, it's not turned on the site, but enter their own product codes. Our goal is over the next year, we've done a lot of work with a customer, not only being able to create their own quick order lists, but put in their own part numbers and start adding customization directly to the website. And what that does is allow your customers to drive their experience, which we'll talk about more with your site, and customize it to them, feeling like they have some control, and then they can see and do things that they need to do to make their business more efficient. All right, so as I go through here, you'll see that the site will change different ways. And we know that customers place orders, B2B buyers place orders usually in 5 minutes or less. So we have quick order screens. It would type as you search, looking for products. If they know product codes or names, they could find something and add that to the cart. And they can add more rows here. Then they could add to the cart, and it's going to update and go to the cart here. So we also have quick order lists. So if we were to go to a product here, we have this quick order list where they can add the quick order list as they go throughout the site for repeat orders. We'll talk more about those lists in a second. We also support many different features, which we're not going to cover today for time. But you'll notice we added, as the user logged in, there's My Catalog and Group Catalog. These are important. Your customer can actually create their own catalogs, or you can create them for them. So this is another very dynamic way that we customize to the customer. They can have categories, subcategories. So this is great for personalization products or regional products or specific location products, anything that your customer needs to set specific catalog for their business so that they do not have to shop and go find things. Could be very specific short catalogs. Then of course we support different views, list view, grid view, and we also have a catalog view for much like you'd see on a fastener site where it's a very condensed view. So as they do that, if I was logged in with the proper permissions, I would even be able to build my own catalog and add my products. So there's a large amount of functionality. We also support like restricted products or restricted catalogs for government users, things like that, so that your customer can control the buying experience with their users. All right, thinking about order speed, as we've done this over the years, some of the things we've encountered with customers is, hey, I'm only going to put my order into my purchasing system. I click a button, it sends you a PDF, and that's it. I'm not going to go on the site and shop. I'm not going to do any of those things. So you might receive something like this in the mail. One of our customers, this was one from years ago that they would receive, and it would literally take a sales rep maybe 30 minutes to type this all in, double check it, make sure he's calculated all these things right. So we came up with a file upload that would take this PDF, which comes out of an accounting system, and this can be customer specific, and they would upload that, and in real time it translates the document. And you can see it matched the product codes, it priced it, they even put their description here, which would go on the line comments into CSD. And then you'll notice it couldn't match some, but what it does is it puts the line comments here, and then inside the order processing module in Kodaris, the part number can be assigned that matches that line on their order, and then next time it will remember it like this one. This is something that's been out in production for several years. It's processing thousands and thousands of orders for our customers. But it's really another way for your customers to say, I generated the PDF. Instead of emailing it, I'm going to go ahead and do a 3-step checkout. And part of the sell point on that is, hey, it's 9 o'clock at night. I could email it, but if I do it this way, it's going to be directly in my supplier's ERP and their dispatch system, and they can begin working on it rather than me emailing it and somebody needing to hold it up, type it in, maybe fat finger something. So this not only saves our customer time and money, it saves us an incredible amount of time, not only from the order entry perspective, but eliminating error rates. So very powerful feature we use a lot. And then I'll mention, besides the line comments, order header comments here, these also get sent directly into ERP. There's a feature like I could save this order for later and come back. Any number of things. Lastly, going through the checkout, their billing addresses would be here that they could auto choose, their shipping addresses. All of their ship tos would be here. So if they need to change a ship to, they can type easy search. Some of our customers have hundreds of ship tos they work through. And then the last section, you can configure per customer what shipping options you offer. Maybe you offer pickup and delivery, or you ship and use FedEx. We are also, when it comes to taxes, we're a certified Avalara partner. We provide SOVOS, tax tables, any number of things, Canadian tax processing. And then if your customer is just a credit customer, they might just put in their purchase order, place order. If you allow credit card for certain customers, again, it can be turned on by ARC account. You can turn this on, and maybe you don't allow them to place a purchase order. That's configured customer by customer, what they can check out with and use. And then when I place this order, it would go to the order processing module. It could be sent directly to the ERP with all the data, or it can also be held up for further processing in Kodaris, which we'll cover in a few minutes inside the operations portal. So that's a quick high-level overview of Commerce. Hundreds and hundreds of features. We won't go through them all, but I do want to get through to the customer portal to show you around that. Okay, so if we move to customer portal, remember we just looked at Commerce, so now we're going to go here to customer portal. And I'm going to click on my account. It's important to note that we viewed customer portal as how the customer interacts. So we know there's user personas that do buying, and then we know that there's users who just come in here, look up past invoices, maybe check order delivery dates, any number of things. So we created nearly a separate portal here. You can embed it between your header and footer. And we do have customers on, let's say, Unilog, who also we have connections with them where they embed it inside their Unilog site. We've also done that with Adobe Commerce and other commerce systems. So think about this, again, almost as an entire separate application for your customers to do business with you. All right, the first thing you'll notice is they'll have a home screen with what they've recently worked on or quick access some of these modules. This can be customized. But I'm going to touch on employees. So normally your customer would, you turn on one user, which would be a company admin for them. And they would see that user, you would onboard that one user, and then they would self-manage their account. And this is typically like Google Apps or Office 365, where they're going to manage all their employees with you and what they can access. So if we look at the employee details, there's the basic information. There's also, they can put in their employment positions, anything they want about their users, which can also help CRM or targeted purchasing or onboarding. They can also do things like allow them to place an order or not. We have a spending approval workflows that your customers can set up themselves for their employees. They can activate or deactivate, and then you'll see there's a long list of permissions here. And these are data driven. So these are all things where people said we need to give users access to certain things, but not other things. So your customers can work to tailor specifically for their employees how they use the website as well. And going back to our login, everything would change based on my login and be personalized to me. And I'll touch on notifications briefly. This is another module we have, but think about changing data. Anything that changes, you can actually change and trigger notifications and events. So some might be an order was placed on my account. Maybe I'm an accountant. I want to just get an alert every time somebody places an order to make sure, monitor for fraud, or make sure that it went through proper channels. Maybe I'm using a delivery system, and Kodaris has a built-in proof of delivery and logistics system as well if you want to leverage that, or you're using another third party that's feeding data in, or maybe you're just driving that out of CSD. Different notifications can be triggered about your delivery. Again, giving that Amazon experience near real time of where your order's at to the customer. Some other interesting ones based on CSD data might be an order's expected ship date changes. This one can be tied to the promise date, and let's say the promise date changes, and that's what you use to tell your customer this is the day we will deliver it. User can subscribe to that, and if they're using mobile apps, there's push notifications, so that when you change that one field in the ERP, Kodaris will receive that near real-time update coming out of the data lake. We'll look at what's in Kodaris and say, oh, it changed. So let me look up this ARC account, this user, and see if anyone subscribed to that change. And then it can send out the email. And remember, all users can self-manage their own subscriptions to different events. So your customer is self-serving, and you can actually save them time and money in communication just by leveraging features like this. Okay, let's go to the order history. So this would be all orders, not only online in Kodaris, but if you're just using this module, all orders coming out of CSD. And remember, as you update them, the statuses are going to change as you ship, as you back order. All those changes are coming to Kodaris near real time for your customers to self-service and view. So you'll see what we found over the years with customers is that everybody wanted their own view of this. They wanted to see and explore, and their users would say, can we get this? And they'd have another user say, I want to see this column, but I don't want to see this column. So we built something that users could customize to themselves. So you'll see a whole list of fields here that are offered for the customers to see. So maybe I don't really care about the purchase order screen, but I do want to see the location field. And what you'll see is the screen is changing in real time based on the columns I select. And maybe I want to see the location field over here and the ERP order number over here. I can arrange that screen any way I want, and then I can actually save a view of that. And I can make that my default view. I can name it. I can share with other users. Maybe I have dispatchers or I have receivers out on job sites or any number of things. So they can self-customize not only for them, but other people in their company if they have permission. So this makes it really fast and easy for your users to get the exact view and work with the system the way they would like to. And I can even do things like just filter on invoice. So you'll see all these filters. I can filter on that. I can search on a number here. There's searching and filtering across all fields, as well as a global search for all order data that your customers can self-service access to. So if I want to see the details on one, let's just go into this one. This print copy is customized to you. So remember, we do have data lake data, so we can format this exactly how it is in CSD. So if it's online or offline, your customer receives the same experience, and you can tailor this for your user experience as well. What we did find also is that customers want to self-serve, they want to get data in and out. So some of these features might be, I can select here, and then I can download all these as, let's say, a PDF file, which means it would generate one PDF per copy, and then it would download those as a zip file. I can also download to Excel format. We even support several small business accounting systems, so if they want to import and export their data out of the site, they can. So this is one way they could do it. Another way is we have an Excel view. So think of Google Apps or Office 365. This changes to a spreadsheet view. I can select, I can copy out of that. I can do any number of things. I can export. We even support many of the shortcuts of Excel and Google spreadsheets or Office 365. This way, if your users love working with spreadsheets, they can work in this, and they can, again, show and hide fields. They can pin left and right. They can do any number of things and work with their data the way they would like to. So we went a step further because that's how users like to work. And they said, you know what, I like these line items. I don't want to have to retype these. So we even embedded an Excel view here so they could get down to a specific order and copy and paste off an order. And then depending on the modules you're using, or whether you're using Kodaris or some other ones, we provide a POD module. Let me see if I can find one here with some files on it. So these might be, hey, this is Amazon, we delivered your packages for you, or we delivered your items on a construction site for you. These would be uploading Kodaris near real time if you're using our driver delivery apps, Or let's say you're using another provider and those are flowing into IDM, which we do have a full integration to IDM. We can pull those also out of the Infor document management system and display them here for your customers. So it becomes a seamless experience if your customer is looking for proof of delivery, or you want to give them a document attached to order. You can attach any number of PDFs. There is a document system in Kodaris that would attach here. And this also is actually a way your customers can share files with you. So they can upload files, or you can upload files in Kodaris or IDM, and you can publish those so that they are visible to your customer download. So instead of using a third-party tool or share file tool, that can be embedded right in their customer experience on your website. And then, of course, depending on the commerce, you can make a quick order list from all the line items here. You can click reorder. You can print a PDF. We support any and all of the shortcuts that a customer would want to use to speed up their processing of their data with you without any interaction from you. Lastly, I'll touch on comments. We'll touch on that another, but your customer can actually add comments here. You can see those comments in the operation portal. They can mark up their own comments on orders, any number of things for even their users to interact with each other on your site. All right, we'll move on for time. Quotes, we support a lot of quotes, whether you're quoting in CSD or you're quoting in Kodaris with our quoting modules. Customer would be able to self-service that. I'll touch on ship to. So locations are ship tos in CSD or any other distribution ERP or manufacturing ERP. So I can see those here. You'll notice all of our grids support the same functionality. One interesting feature, though, that I would call out, and depending on what you want to give your customers access to, they can update information here and we can write it back to the ERP, or most customers just want them to be able to view it. Additionally, I can assign employees to a location. So let's say that I want to be able to assign an employee because maybe I have 5 locations or I have 5 crews or however my employees are segmented, and I do not want them to see everybody else's information. So if I assign Tiffany to this location, when she logs in, she's only going to be able to see order history for that location, pricing for that location. She's only going to be able to work with any data associated with that location or ship to. So that's an easy way for your customers, larger customers, to be able to segment their employees across locations and restrict their privileges, and the system will dynamically personalize and adjust in real time to that assignment. All right, moving on to lists. This is quick order lists. We saw that on the commerce side a little bit. Those are here, so I could click into a list. I could just check a couple boxes and start an order. We won't do that now, but it's very easy. I can delete lists. I can edit list details, any number of things. Those are all self-curated and self-service. I'll also talk about payment portal. So this is part of our AR automation as well. So you'll see that there's balances here. These labels match the ERP normally. You can also customize these like 0 to 30. It's all fully customizable. We do usually bring out all the AR records. So this is AR records sitting in Kodaris, and balances as those are syncing out as you invoice. A couple things to note on this. As you'll notice, again, I'm logged in and the system knows who I am, so I have to have the accounts payable permission. I also have my list of open invoices. So you can offer different payment types to customers. Now, most of our customers would like only to offer their customers ACH. So you can customize down to the ARC record, whether you offer just ACH or you offer credit card. Depending on the configuration you set up, will determine what they see when they add a payment method. In this case, we've enabled credit card for demo purposes for this customer, as well as ACH. Kodaris is a full payment provider, meaning we sell merchant services. We're a Visa certified solution partner, and we're a ACH processor as well. And we will store and provide for you all Nacha documentation. We're a virtual terminal for Nacha audit. We'll generate legal documents and things that for the ACH processing. Also, we're PCI DSS certified each year. So if I was a customer coming in to pay, I could select all, I could select multiples of these, and I'm just going to click pay, and I could pay the selected invoices. I could schedule payments. We have many different things. Won't delve into all of them, but surcharging capabilities, custom rules, custom discounting, anything you want to provide around for your customers and around your business to earn more margin around different options. Additionally, there's opportunity depending on your configuration. You can support short pays if you want to do that. This is turned on but can be turned off. You can force your customers to select reasons if they're going to short pay. You can even comment. Your customers can come in here and comment and say, hey, I think the tax is wrong on this. Can you adjust it so I can pay it? Your AR team would get an alert. They could respond. With the goal being everything your customer can do via telephone, they can also digitally interact with you, because we all know that's where the future is. So they should be able to self-service nearly anything they need to do in your portal with you. With CSD, it becomes really a closed loop process. I'll just lastly touch on as you invoice, it's automatically going to flow to Kodaris near real time. Customer logs in, they're going to see their invoices, they're going to pay. At the end of the day, we're going to batch out, we'll generate an EDI lockbox file. So we act like a bank and we provide a file, we upload that directly back into CSD, which that can be picked up and then auto apply the invoices. So it really also becomes a very efficient process for you and your team. If needed, we can also generate invoicing at night. Some people do that in CSD. Kodaris can generate invoicing and statements if needed. We do US mail as well as digital delivery. And even our partner also supports fax if needed. So a full lifecycle AR automation platform that's also built into your website. Additionally, we support things like deposits. If you want to let a customer make a deposit on an order, just give you $5,000 and have you apply it. That's all built into the platform as well. The last thing I'll mention is the document management system. So this is at the ARC level. We support it at the ARSS level as well as, like I showed you, on the order level. But your customers can upload documents here. You can upload documents for them to download. If you want to store statements here and have us pull those out of IDM, so your customers have historical statements, all that is possible directly in their portal to securely store and transfer all that data with you instead of going to a third-party system. So we're running very behind time. But before we wrap up in a few minutes, I want to touch on just the employee portal. So we just logged out of that, and as I look at here, now we're going to look at the sales and operational portal, which I'll, on the same site, same system, I'll log in here. And you'll notice now this would be where your employees would log in. So distribution employees of XYZ distributor will log in here. And this is really where you're going to drive the entire platform. It is permission-based. There's over 700 permissions. There's user roles, so you can give your employees direct access to everything specifically that you need to give them access to. So the PIM we talked about, there's an extensive PIM module here. The multilingual, the search tools, you can turn your search. We didn't touch on search too much. The full order history would be here for your as well, so you could search, and you'll notice all of our grids are very similar. We also have embedded spreadsheet view across all of our grids. So for products, orders, any of those things, you can export spreadsheets, you can import spreadsheets if needed. The drag and drop feature I demoed is also available here to push orders in and automate that if your employees need to do it. We also have where you can transact business, your AR records would be here. So as you're looking at reconciliation or you need some reports, maybe customized reports, you can get that here, again with sticky filters. You also can do things like CRM. We have a full CRM where you can assign your sales reps, so we can leverage your CSD assignments if needed. But this would allow you also to get snapshot views of your employees of open invoice history, their orders, their users on their accounts. We have automated emails, or you can email from here. So there's a plethora of features here. Usually not everyone adopts everything at the same time, obviously, but it's a very powerful open platform that gives you future options to expand with. And lastly, I'll touch on our analytics for our e-commerce, because that's an important topic to know what your user is doing, how they're doing it. So we embedded a business intelligence module directly in here. And again, it was something we said we're not going to build it. Actually, one of our customers was starting down the path of having us build reporting. And what we decided to do, since we're on AWS, 100% Amazon Web Services, we took their Amazon QuickSight engine, which you can look that up offline. It's got AI built in. It's something that they're pushing a lot of, and it's very inexpensive, and we've embedded that directly for our commerce analytics, and the data is available to you. You can put custom data in it. So this is just a sample dashboard that we put in, and this is something a lot of our customers leverage, because we record every request to the website, what users are doing, what they're doing with the mobile apps, what they're searching on. And this gives you real-time access to create dashboards, look at things. And it's not just what we came up with. We also embedded the full analysis engine. So you can actually bring in your own data sets. Anything AWS supports is also embedded directly here. So it's very powerful. We won't obviously go through all of this. There's also cloud development environments as well. So you can actually develop, work on your templates. We have developer plugins to Visual Studio, IntelliJ, and you can even mod the system as well during the processing. The entire system's built and designed to be built on top of. And to that end, we have what we call API, which is how different computers talk to each other. So we support a full REST API that's modern, latest open API standards. So not only can you build your own applications against the API, which in fact this entire application here is running against the APIs. There's over 3,000 APIs. But we also, when we looked at Customer Portal, we allow your customers that application's built against APIs. And what that means is your logo would be here, your terms of service and those things would be here. So you instantly are now publishing over 3,000 APIs to your users, your customers, to make it their data available to them. So maybe you have a large customer with ERP, and they say, hey, I'd love to get my order history out or send you payments, but via API or some other means. They now have an integration path you can offer them directly on your platform. And we have several customers leveraging that, leveraging third-party softwares, building against our distribution customers' APIs to leverage data for their customers. So when we talk about an open platform you can scale with into the future, it really is an open platform that is future-proofing what you're doing today to allow data for tomorrow and data flows to save your customers time and differentiate yourself, because technology has really becomes a service to your customers. So we covered a lot today. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Mark. Hopefully this gives you a very brief overview. We've talked about a ton of things. Obviously, no one adopts at one time. It is a journey, but you can continue to leverage modules and things we release every single week now and into the future.
Yeah, I think you did a fantastic job. You covered a lot in a small amount of time. Some of the questions that came in, I think you already covered. So just to reiterate, yes, you are able to query CSD for IDM documents, and also yes, Kodaris is able to customize those documents internally to match the IDM document. You also mentioned that you are a full payment processor. I'm not sure how many of your customers actually take credit cards as opposed to ACH. I'm assuming there's a lot of ACH, but yeah, I think the next step here, if those of you in attendance don't have Tony's information, please reach out to me, reach out to Daryl, Shane, and we can get you in touch. But I think the next step here is to let us know what you're trying to achieve. And like Tony has said before, let's get together and brainstorm. So today's recording will be available on our YouTube channel, and we'll be sending that out to you very soon. Thank you, Tony, for your time today. I think you did a fantastic job.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking the time, and thanks for inviting me.
Have a great afternoon, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.